with you guys. So what I'm going to do, we're just looking at Bitcoin here on the 15-minute chart. As you guys can see, overnight last night, let me clean this up for a second, just because when we look at crypto, we don't need average daily range, so I can turn this off. And I'm going to turn off the Asian range, just because it's not as important here. Perfect. So when we're looking at Bitcoin here on the 15-minute overnight last night, you can see it really just ripped from the open and fell. However, if you just zoom back, you can actually see yesterday, before the big drop overnight last night, yesterday is when our 8 and 21 EMAs crossed down right here, right next to my face. When that cross happened, from there, it never crossed the 8 and 21 EMAs back up just until a few minutes ago, right here, right underneath me. If you guys could see that right there, right? So if you just look at this, if I switch this chart here to the 15-minute, let's go over here, and we just look at the 8 and the 21 now, like this is how you see it now, took off those other EMAs. Let's measure from yesterday's 8 and 21 EMA cross down to today's lowest point. That's a 10.43% drop in about 24 hours. That is pretty incredible. So when you talk about this being digital gold, that is very volatile still, where we can lose 10% of our value, 10% of the value of the asset in a day. That is very, very volatile. And I think a lot of big investors will start to look at days like this and say, okay, maybe we need to be more aware of the volatility here. And until the volatility slows down, we don't want to be dumping as much money into Bitcoin. So as you have to weigh these scales, as Bitcoin starts to have more bearish momentum, people fundamentally will become more bearish on it, at least in the short term. So I think that's the first, whoop, lost a little bit of my light there. Hold on. That's the first piece of this. And the second piece of this crypto thing is if you look at the other cryptos, look at Ethereum, it looks identical. Look at Ripple, it looks identical. The moves from yesterday into today and overnight last night, identical. Look at this. That's Dogecoin. This is Cardano. This is Litecoin. This is Polkadot. They're almost identical, even at the time of magnitude. At the open, they all had a big push. And then here at about 10 a.m., or what was that? Why is that saying 10 a.m.? Oh, because my timing is wrong right here. Hold on. There you go. At about, what is that, 5 a.m. this morning, it had another really strong push down. So I think it's just interesting to see how correlated all these altcoins are to Bitcoin. And what it makes me think is that as people ask this question, is crypto going to be the future? The only way cryptocurrencies beyond Bitcoin can be the future is if they can diverge from Bitcoin's influence. Because if Bitcoin is still the big influencer, when we have a huge crypto correction, because we will, crypto, in my opinion, will pull back 60, 70, 80, maybe 90% at some point, probably within the next 2 years. When that happens, I would hope that we can weed out some of these other cryptocurrencies and in turn separate, diverge from Bitcoin. So Bitcoin can do its own thing and these other cryptos can do their own thing. If they're always all tied together, it doesn't really make sense from an investor standpoint to buy these other tokens because you know Bitcoin's going to drive their value. So it would make more sense to then be invested in Bitcoin, in my opinion. So that's why for now, all of my crypto money has been focused on Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum and Ripple, but mostly on Bitcoin because that is the driver. Until they diverge, I don't feel fully comfortable saying, yes, we should be buying Cardano because that's going to be the future. No, Cardano's projects could be great, and I think that they are great. However, if Bitcoin is still the market driver, Bitcoin goes down, Cardano's going down. Fuck whatever project they're working on, it's going to take a hit because Bitcoin still has that much influence. So I'm waiting for the day that they diverge. I think that's going to be a very important time for us as crypto and day traders and Forex traders. That's when we're going to go in and see a lot of value to completely transition, if you wanted, from trading Forex to trading crypto because every crypto is free flowing in its own direction. But now you can just look at Bitcoin and say, well, Bitcoin's getting slammed. Everything else is going to get slammed. Sell the rest of it. And you could make money doing that. And that's not a trading strategy. So that's why I'm not a big believer in trading these other coins as much right now. Who do we think first created Bitcoin? I don't know. Who do you guys think in the chat is Satoshi? Do you think it's Elon Musk? I would take a guess and say that it's a conglomerate of people. And I'm going to guess again that if you look at the top Bitcoin wallets, if you took the top 10 Bitcoin wallets, I would say 50% of those 10 are owned by the same conglomerate. Satoshi's company, whoever it is that's operating under the pseudonym of Satoshi, I think they have the biggest wallets. They're still holding the most Bitcoin. And that's why the market is still a little bit unstable, in my opinion, because if they decided to dump, it can cause a big problem. You know what I'm saying? But now, perfect timing, stock market's opening. So let's take a look back over here, 9:30.